Hello there everybody and welcome back to episode 23 of the Iceland Takeover. I'm Josh from TBM Games and today, we've got a lot to cover. A lot has happened since episode 22, which was the first game of my Europa League group. Since then I have since finished the group, which I'm not going to lie, it was a very mixed bag of results, shall we say. Nothing quite as bad as we expected, but it could have gone better. In terms of the league, as again you can see, we did finish the league and unfortunately we finished second. We just couldn't catch them in the end. They managed to get that extra couple of wins and we finished second. Not ideal. We are in the Europa League qualification group for this season I should say. So it's not the end of the world. In terms of the actual results, pre-season so far hasn't gone terrifically, but a little spoiler alert there, we did get a win and a 2-2 draw, to finish the group quite strongly. The last game that you saw was the 2-0 defeat. We did lose to Valor 4-3, and we just didn't get another win in the league, so it's no real surprise that we didn't win. We did get a 0-0 against Bruges. We were very happy with that. 2 consecutive 2-0 defeats to Spurs. Not surprising. Well, actually, it is a little surprising that it was only 2-0. And, as I said, a 1-0 against AZ and 2-2 against Bruges. I'm not going to go into all them goals because, like I said, there's however many games and it's a lot of time and we're not happy with how it went. So we'll sweep that under the rug. We'll get started with a new clean slate. I have made some transfers. Woo! Nobody's left. We've brought a lot of people in, some people on loan. First of all, we got Bjarkason. Bjarkason? Yeah, I'll call him Bjarkason. He's new left winger to replace Mikkelsen, who left us and decided to not stick around, basically. Plays pretty much the same. He's not quite as good now, but he's got the potential. We have him. He costs us about 47 grand, I think it was, from IA. So, can't really sniff too much of that. We got Adeniran, who I believe is a defensive mid. We're going to play him sort of in the holding midfield role as a replacement for Christiansen, who, unfortunately, we haven't actually been able to properly replace. He's on loan from Everton. He looks like he could be the real deal for us. And I believe he's going to sort of just be that anchor in midfield. We signed Osei Tutu from Arsenal, who's a young right back. Fantastic at the minute, and he should hopefully just properly nail down that role and make it his own and just give us that extra little bit of stability as well as some rather attacking options. Like I say, he's got 12 crossing and dribbling. He's nice and fast, and he just looks like he could be somebody to genuinely keep an eye on. His decision making and concentration aren't brilliant, but for this league, it should be fantastic for us. We did sign 2 young centre backs from Man City. I'm not even going to pretend that I can pronounce that. Unfortunately, he is out for the first month or so of the season with an injury. Not ideal, but when we bring him in, he's a nice 4-star current. He's nice and young, quick, strong, and he's got all the right attributes that we need. Maybe lacking a bit in bravery, but it's not too bad. And Ogbeta, who again can play left back, but we're going to be using him as a centre back. Again, very similar. He's just decent across the board for what we need. So I'm hoping that between the pair of them and Tutu at right back, and then Halfborson at left back, because again Skog hasn't decided to stay, we should be sorted defensively. And then my director signed Vidovic for some strange reason. I don't know why. It was only about £1,000 though, I think it was. Yeah, 1.2 grand. He's valued at just under 10. So hopefully, give it a year or two, we might be able to flog him, get a little bit of money for it. We'll see what happens. We did also manage to keep hold of Alexander up top. which is fantastic, as well as Sadiku, who has signed a pre-contract with us to join permanently at the end of his current one, which I believe is in June. Yeah, so he's coming and joining us permanently, which we're very excited about. And I think that is about it for now. So we are now going to jump into the pre-season competition that we normally have. Where are we looking? It's the Icelandic Cup, isn't it? Oh no, it's the Icelandic Cup A. So in our group, we have KA, HK, Vestri, Vikingur and Njarðvík. I'm quietly confident. I can't really see any of them causing too much of an issue. But then again, we always seem to struggle in this, and I think we tend to use it just more as a kind of shake off your cobwebs, lads. Let's go. Okay, so I think this is the team that we're going to start with. As I said, we're going to use Ogbeta and Tutu. As I said, Loud, whatever it was called, the Latiboudier. We'll call him Joel. Joel's injured for the next month or so, and unfortunately unable to be used. So Hegeler's handily stepping up because he is an absolute boss for us. Half-born son he's actually not too bad. He's been developing low-key without me really realising, and I think he's sort of in a position now where, you know, he's genuinely going up, and I'm happy about this. All his stats are low, not going up massively, but they're on the rise, so we're happy with him. I'm tempted to give him the season, see what happens. And obviously we've still got Ingvarsson and Helgason. They're going to be the sort of the linchpins in midfield. Okay, so enough of all of this, and let's get him into the game. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. Right. Problem. Who do we drop? Might have to drop Sadiku. Yeah, I'll bring in Borderson instead. Problem solved. Okay, give people numbers. Yeah, you can all have them. I don't really care about squad numbers. I know a lot of people do, and personally I don't get it, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so let's... I should also mention I haven't actually really changed any of my backroom staff yet. I probably should, but for some reason my board refused to let me sign my scouts on full-time contracts, so for some reason they're all part-time. I don't enjoy it, and I don't understand why, because it's not like we don't have the money. Other things I suppose I should mention are we're in the midst of yet another election takeover for the ownership of the club. I don't know if this is just an annual thing, or if the people who got elected in last season are just really not happy. Hegeler's got a free kick here. Oof, very unlucky. And again, very unlucky to not just bundle that in for a nice early goal. Oh well. There was actually something else I was supposed to mention. Don't know. Anyway, so sorry, we'll just go back to the game. 2-2, unlucky there with the header. Very far forward for a right back. I'm okay with it. We've got a nice free kick. Ardenian. Oof, yes, Hegeler. The nice goal. Bit of a scramble, but we're okay with it. A goal's a goal. Picking up where he left off last season as the club's second top scorer with, I think it was 7 goals. Alexander did break the club record for most goals. I don't think it was in the league. I think it was just in general with 19. That was unlucky from them. Bit better at volley, and it would have been a completely different game. It's their only shot so far after 25 minutes. I'm okay with that. They're not looking very interested. Hegeler with a nice floated free kick. Unlucky there from Ogbeta. I've not had a proper look to see how much of a physical presence he is yet. I really should do that. For some reason, it's just never something I overly pay too much attention to when I'm signing defenders. I really should, because the amount of times I've signed a great stats-wise defender, but he's actually 5'2" or something. But oh well. just adds to the excitement. Yeah, we'll tell him to ease off. Don't need to get him sent off in his first competitive game. Ingvarsson Helgason, who's one of our own. Also very pleased with how he's developing. Alexander, nicely done. Second goal of the season. I don't know what that other one was, unless it's counting the preseason ones, which I didn't think it did. But, oh well. Hegler here with the cross. Unlucky. Helgason. I don't know why Hegler's taking the corners, because surely as a centre-back, again, you'd assume he's a reasonably big guy. Gudmundsson and, Gudjonsson, sorry. That was poor defending. They're right back in it. Oh well. It's fine. Ingvarsson, great throw. Unlucky. Too close to the keeper. Gleeslasson. Don't know. It's a great name, isn't it? Hansen. Gudjonsson again. I don't know what's going on with this defence. We just don't seem to be picking him up. He's a striker as well. It's not even like he's just making real runs from the deep. Oh well. Okay. Team's very happy so far. Helgason. Again, I'm hoping to give him sort of the full season now. That he's I think he's 19 now. So sort of getting to that age where he should be pushing for the first team spot. He's not quite as good as some of my other midfielders, but I think given the prolong... Oh, what a finish. What a great finish there from Alexander. I'm really hoping that we can keep him until the end of his contract with Millwall and then just snap him up on a free, or at least get him on the cheap, because he's just an absolute revelation up front for us. Ingvarsson with another long throw. Alexander, not quite. Helgason, unlucky. Bit of a scrap. And they're breaking Ogbeta and he's sent off. What a start to your career with us. Yeah, there he goes. This is a problem. I feel like that's going to be the obvious solution. Well, positional wise, and we'll just have to bring Eriksson on. I think Hegler prefers to be on the left. We'll just have to see how that affects the match. 3-1 down, you'd like to think... 4-1. You'd like to think we should be comfortably enough in the lead that it's not going to be too much of a problem. However, in fact, I'll tell you what, I'll knock it back so that we're more balanced and we're not overexerting ourselves too much. Borderson, massive hoof up to Alexander. Couldn't quite reach it, but it doesn't matter. Eriksson, Ingvarsson trying to close him down, didn't manage it. Halfbonson hoofs it up. Borderson, I don't know where you were heading that to, mate. Absolutely nobody there. Alexander's just had to come in, swoop it up, and relatively tame shot in the end. But from that angle, again, I don't know what we were expecting. I'll tell everyone to calm it down. I don't need to be very defensive, mate. Calm it off. We'll sit we're balanced. Okay, got a nice corner here. I assume it's... Oh, throw in. Going for another long one. Oof. Alexander going for his fourth. Oh, Borderson. No, unlucky. Try to go for a fifth goal of the game. This is certainly playing out better than it did last season, where I think we were beaten by, was it Bor, the team that had just come up from the lower division, or they'd just been relegated or something. They were in the second tier anyway, and they gave us an absolute pasting. But yes, well done, keeper. Arneson, he's one of the players who we've managed to keep right from the get-go. I think maybe another season or so we might have to look at replacing him. I know he's still a young keeper, but if we're going for Europe, Alexander again, can he get a fourth? Yes, he can. This is certainly his day. And if he's keeping up this kind of form, he's going to have an absolute field day in this league, especially with some of the players that we've brought in around him, like Bjarksen. Hegler there, unlucky. Well, I do think we're getting somewhere with this team in terms of the acquisitions that we've got. Give it another season or two, and it'll just be 5 in a game. Wow. I think the league's going to be an absolute shoe-in. Another season, especially if we can get to the group stages of the Europa League again, because that financial hit, like, injection from us is just... I'm not certain many teams in the division can keep up. And if we get it again for another season, we'll just... The game will get to a point where it just sort of gives another team a load of money just to keep up with us, essentially. I mean... Looking at him, he's probably like maxing out at the minute, or at least maxing out what he can get from us. But oh no, he says he could still improve a hell of a lot, and yeah, he's certainly interested in signing for us permanently. This is great. I'm gonna need to try and keep hold of him. There's no two ways about it. But anyway, after that game, I do think we'll call it there, and I'll get back to you in a few days with probably the last game of this Preseason Cup. It's not that long, so I'll probably play a few more and get back to you maybe for the vestry one, unless things go a bit, well, not well. We'll, we'll probably try and sweep it under the rug like we usually do. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe it. And, of course, I will see you next time. See you later, guys.